Hello and welcome to the Best Today podcast. I'm Shantae Grant, and today we are talking about routine. In fact, I'm giving you 12 examples of some everyday routines. Now, if you are just now finding out about what we're doing this month, if you're listening in real time, that's July 2022. We have been talking about routine all month long. So if you missed out, you can tap back and listen to episodes 70, 71, and 72 all about routine. In fact, we've also been doing some routine rewinds this month, bringing back previous episodes that talk about routine. My hope is to answer each and every one of your questions as it relates to routine. And if I have not, over the span of these last 4 episodes, in our rewinds, please reach out and let us know. Here are some easy ways to do that. Text us 404-737-1002. Post in the Best Today community if you're in the community. And if you're not, come on, girl, join us. besttodaycommunity.com. Or email us besttoday@shantaegrant.com. The easiest probably is for you to text 404-737-1002. We want to make sure your questions are answered. So I wanted to end this month with this episode of 12 examples of everyday routines to show you how you can build a routine around just about anything. I always want to say anything, but I like to always leave a little room. The lawyer in me wants to leave a little caveat, but just about anything. And that routines are also and can also be as uniquely designed as we all are as humans, right? We are all uniquely and wonderfully different. And that's the same thing that's true of our routines. There is no one size fits all routine because we're all so different, have different desires, time constraints and lives, and so many other things, right? Routines are not one size fit all. I also want you to understand that while routines aren't one size fit all, there are principles in creating them that are one size works for most. We'll say that. I really can't say all because we have had thousands of women from across the globe who've taken Right Now Routine and learned how to build a routine with my TACO method, TACO. And it really does work for your life because it's creating a routine for you and your life right now. Like, those are key things, because even if you do it for your life, but you're not doing it your life right now, it's not going to work, right? It has to be routines that work for your life right now in the present. So today I want to give you a few routines, ideas, so that hopefully my desire is that it will spark your creativity and help you to look within your day-to-day and lifestyle to see where is just one place where I can create a simple routine to help either solve a problem, to stop overthinking, to proactively prevent something from happening that I don't want to happen, or proactively making sure that something that I do want to happen actually happens, right? Where are those places where I can set that, or just a place where I want to feel more ease in my life or with my time? So that's my hope in walking through just 12. And these are just 12 out of 12 million possibilities, but some examples of routines, and they're in no particular order, that you can create for your life. And even how you would create one of these routines will look different from how I would create it and how your neighbor would create it. And so again, that's the beautiful thing about routine, is that they get to be unique because we are all different and our needs are different and our routines will look differently. I keep repeating that because I know someone is going to say, oh, I stopped trying doing routines because, it looked so hard on Pinterest, TikTok, Instagram, right? Stop trying to create cookie cutter routines from Pinterest, TikTok, and Instagram. That's her life. That's not yours. Okay. So without further ado, let's talk through 12 examples of some everyday routines that might be helpful for your life. Some of these may be very helpful for you in no particular order. First routine is an after dinner routine. And as you may have guessed, when does the after dinner routine happen? After dinner. So after you have completed your meal, this is what you're going to set up a routine and say, these are the next steps. Because remember, I said a routine is a flow of actions that you predetermine, that you proactively planned, right? After dinner, this is what we do in our home, whether it's something you do, something you have your children do, something that you all do together. An after dinner routine is an example of a routine that you can create in your home, in your life. Another example is the last hour of the day routine. I love this because how we end our evenings really has an impact on how we start our mornings, whether our energy is there, what happens when we wake up. Have you already, proactively planned the day and you know what you're going to do in the morning for yourself, what needs to be done? That last hour of the day routine can be something that you use to really proactively pour into the tomorrow you, right? So a last hour of the day. And again, what you need in your last hour of the day can be differently from me. You could be using that hour. Someone might want to use that hour to set up things like their outfit and pack a lunch. And somebody might want to use that to just sit and zone out and zen out for the last hour of the day. But you get to decide what that is. But the last hour of a day is a great routine to set up. Another one is a lunch routine. Maybe this is what I do every time on my lunch break, or this is what I do at my lunchtime. This is my lunchtime routine. Another great routine. Number 4, a Sunday night routine. I love a good Sunday night routine because, as many of you know, that is one part of mine is to preview my week. I teach you how to do that. We have, you can see all the different ways we teach you how to do that. The podcast, the YouTube video, and the blog post by going to besttodayguide.com/preview, besttodayguide.com/preview. There we have basically every way to show you how to preview your week, how to preview your months. And again, we have it in every type of medium, blog post, YouTube video, and we have a podcast episode all about that. But a Sunday night routine, what is it that you do on Sunday night typically to set yourself up for the week that's coming up? And you can decide when that starts. Is that something you do? It's called Sunday night, but is that a Sunday night? Maybe it's a Sunday morning, maybe it's Sunday afternoon. You get the point. You get to decide. But that's number 4, another example of a routine. Number 5, a first hour of work routine. I really like this routine, particularly for those of you who come in and you say, when I get to work, I don't know where to start, or, I get inundated with these other things. It's like, can you protect that first hour to do something that you have predetermined that this is the most important thing today? Short of, an emergency, this is what my first hour is going to be dedicated to. That first hour of work just sets you up, and you get to start with the ease of knowing this is what you're going to work on, even if what you're working on doesn't feel easy. Having that first hour of work routine is so fantastic, which also leads to number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the last hour of work, right? I think this one is just as important. I think this one actually might be more important than the first hour, or equally important, because it's how are we going to close out the workday. Number 1, the good thing about this is now we have defined and put parameters and boundaries on this is the last hour, meaning work is going to come to a conclusion for the day, for the evening, for this time period. And that here's how I'm going to wrap up work for the day so that my mind can now shift when I leave work, or when I leave this space, or when I close my laptop, to understand we are now shifting gears and transitioning into another part of our day. Doesn't that just feel good? You see the boundaries that we talked about in episode 70, how routines help us to create boundaries. That is another time boundary, a boundary of this is my last hour of work. And when that hour ends, maybe you use that hour to do the things to kind of just prepare your mind. For me, one of those things some days is to plan the next day. All right. And so that's helping me to think about, here are the things that may need to be carried over from today. Here's what happened today. Here's how I'm going to continue it the next day. And that just helps me to really walk away from this space, knowing that I gave it my all here in the time that was allotted, and I'm ready for the next part of my day. All right. Number 7, an 8 o'clock routine, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock. You insert a clock routine. And that literally is a routine that you say, okay, at this time, I consistently do these things. This is my routine for this time. When this time hits, this is my 5 o'clock routine, 7 o'clock routine. Again, you pick the o'clock. Really, really simple. At Best Today, we exist to help women just like you be your best one today at a time. So each week on the podcast, we are going to highlight your stories and your voices. So let's see what's in the inbox today. This week, we have a 5-star Right Now routine review coming in from Erica. Erica writes, it's an amazing way to streamline your life. I can't believe how much Right Now routine has improved my life. My mornings used to be stressful, and I was nearly almost always late for work and couldn't figure out where the time goes in my day. This teaches you intentionality in your day, among other things. It's not about doing more stuff or stuffing more in your day, but taking time for yourself and doing what is important to your life. I started a nighttime routine to make sure my mornings had everything I needed to succeed. I have rarely needed to rush to work starting this program and have even been early to work most days. That is just a small example of how this has helped me in my life. I started grad school and work full time, and I still have time to relax and enjoy life by using these tactics. I think about my time and what is important differently. It's not a miracle. You have to want to put in the work, but Shantae guides you to live your best today that works for your life. Oh, and get the bonus pack too. It helps you with examples of routines to work off of. I'm so happy I found this in all the Best Today products. Thank you, Erica. Erica, you know I love you. Erica is one of our devoted Best Today customers who is rocking it left and right as a full-time student and a full-time employee. Erica, I'm so proud of you, and thank you so much for sharing your worth and your experience with Right Now Routine. And if you want to learn this wonderfulness that Erica is talking about of Right Now Routine, you can go to rightnowroutine.com or simply go to besttodayguide.com/73 today's show notes, but we will link to Right Now Routine in the show notes. Learn how to create realistic routine that works for your life right now in Right Now Routine. Number 8, an after breakfast routine. I love this routine. I keep saying I love this. I love all of these, right? I just love routine. Just another simple routine. Maybe if you have breakfast before leaving the house every morning, that routine can include how we're going to leave the space clean. So when we come back home, we're welcomed in, not with breakfast dishes and clutter and just dried syrup and milk that was left out. But what is that after breakfast routine for you? Or maybe after breakfast, that routine is when you then begin to get ready for the day. You get to decide, but that's another example of a routine. Number 9. Yes. Number 9, a mail routine. And now this can be email or physical mail. You decide, or both. But let's just say physical mail, because that's one I get a lot. Actually, I get both types of mail questions. But, the pile up. What is it that we're going to do every single day when we check the mailbox? This is the routine we're going to have. After we check the mailbox, we're going to do this setup so that we don't get the pile up, or so that the mailbox doesn't spew open when the mailwoman or mailman open the mail thing, because there's so much mail in there, right? That is number 9. Number 10 is a monthly budget review. So on this date every month, this is when we have my routine of how I review my budget. Or number 11, a weekly budget review. Maybe once a week. This is our routine of how we review our budget. I sit at this table, I pull out this document, I play this music, right? Because maybe you need some encouragement while you're doing that budget. So that is number 11. And number 12 is a meal planning routine. I love a good meal planning routine just because it makes it so easy. The way I have a 3-step system that I use for meal planning makes it very easy to know what we have, what we need, and what's going to be made. And it leaves room for flexibility if I change my mind or I don't assign it necessarily to a certain day. But those are just 12 examples of 12 million examples of everyday routines that you can create that will help you with your time. I hope that you see how routines can really be set around anything. And knowing that, I think, really does help you to look at the places and spaces in your life where you could use some proaction through a well-built routine. If you want to learn how to create those routines, I want to invite you to go to rightnowroutine.com. If you're listening and you're in Right Now Routine and it's been a while since you revisited and you've kind of stop building your tacos, I want to invite you to log back in and get that information. The great thing about it is it's a short video and you have everything you need right there. Again, you can go to rightnowroutine.com, or it will be linked in the show notes at besttodayguide.com/73. And don't forget to join us in the community where we're going to be talking about routine all month long. Continue these conversations from the podcast. You can join at besttodaycommunity.com. And that's what I have for you today. Thank you for being present with me for this week's episode of the Best Today podcast. Until next time, remember that you are capable and worthy of being your best one today at a time. And you have everything you need to have everything you want. So go on and shout it out as you live it out. This is what my best today looks like. I'll talk to you in the next episode. If you you enjoyed this week's episode of the Best Today podcast, you are going to love the Best Today Guide. Our Better Than a Planner guide teaches you how to get clear on what you want, identify your self-destructive habits and behaviors, and intentionally create space to prioritize yourself every single day. Don't go the journey to being your best one today at a time without the Best Today Guide. See inside its pages and order yours today at besttodayguide.com. Even better, when you order the Best Today Guide, we gift you with your first month free inside of the Best Today membership. So what are you waiting for? We're giving you everything you need to trade busy for intention. Go to besttodayguide.com and order yours today and join thousands of women across the globe proclaiming each day, this is what my best today looks like.